If you've got that information here, if we've got gender information, then we can use it to filter the message. And then we tag it to a location, whether that's a hotel, whether that is an area within the hotel, whether it's a single access point, and we can present those status messages very simply. So that's an example of how a status page might work. One of the other things that we have been looking at is using that part of the system to do email verification, which I know is a big focus point or a desire for the miner team. And they haven't decided yet exactly how that will be implemented, but I can show you how we've implemented it for another customer, for example. So we have a customer in the UK and Europe. You can see their locations here, called Generator Hostels. And part of their registration process is that we verify their users. So the users get 10 minutes of internet, and then after 10 minutes, if they haven't verified their email address, they get disconnected and they have to re-register again. So I can show you how we've designed that portal for this particular customer, and it'll give you an idea of how we may end up using it with the miner estate. So let's have a look at London here. So we have a portal design, and you can see here the portal design is registration via email. And in here in this text, you can see it's really small, but it's red, and it says, remember to verify the link on your email within 5 minutes to get unlimited access. It might drop into your spam folder. So what we're saying in there is, look, we're going to take your email address, but actually you need to verify it or we're going to disconnect you. And in the service tier setup, right, what you would expect to see, we've got the service tier that is the not verified. So we're actually giving them 10 minutes. There's an expiry of 10 minutes. After first login, they'll be disconnected from this package and they'll have to re-register again. Once they click on a verification link that we're going to send out by email, then we move them on to the 10x5 verified no expiry package. And the way that we do this is using the marketing module. So you can see here, when they go through the registration page, they are presented with a message. So they go through the registration page and they're presented with a message here that's on top of their portal design, and it says, almost there, this is a status page. Please check your email for a link and click on the link, right? So we send them this email with the subject line, the Wi-Fi is 1 click away. And this is the upgrade link that we've inserted. When they click on the upgrade link, we connect them to the different service tier, which is verified by email. When they click on that link, then we display this message to them saying, you verified your email address, enjoy your stay. So very easily we can build up using that status pages and marketing module, a way to verify email addresses. It works really well for these guys. And they get lots of high quality email addresses, right, that they publish on there and use for marketing. And they know that the users that they have are giving them valid email addresses, so it's some trade-off. You can see here breakdown on this report. It's not going to show up for me. I think it's this widget here. It's blank for some reason, but we can show the number of sessions that are actually authenticated. Yeah, there's lots of fake emails that go through. So the way that we combat that with this verification routine for Generator Hostels customer is that they get the 10 minutes to verify, and then if they don't, they just have to re-register. So it gets quite irritating quite quickly for them. So that option's available. I think the guys, Mike and Eric and the guys, are debating how they best implement that, and we'll be ready to go whenever that's possible to go ahead and do that. So you'll notice in here, this is on the Mint domain. Let me go back in here. So in the marketing module, we can do things like SMS authentication. So in Turkey, for example, we have some customers where they have to enter a code immediately to be able to access the Wi-Fi, so we can use it to deliver look here, we can choose which method we're going to deliver these messages by. So whether it's on the portal using a status page, whether it's using SMS. So we just tick the SMS box, we make sure we've added the plugin through the settings, and then we just put the text in here, and it'll deliver it by SMS. And equally, if we want to send a welcome email or a message, a marketing message via email, then we just tick email, we can populate the subject line, we use the same editor here, and we can choose who that email is going to be delivered to by using the same filter rules and so on. So you can see these marketing elements are really super flexible. We can use it for verification by SMS, verification by email, to promote specific things that are going on in the hotel. We can use it to gather more information. So we could use it for a survey, for example. So we could present a survey on a status page when somebody returns, and we can ask them to answer some questions. And then we can incentivize them to say, well, look, if you answer these questions, we'll give you access to the super fast broadband, and use the same filters. And then we can collect that information. Maybe it's really important you want to collect email addresses for people that are attending events. Maybe you want to find out what someone's drinking preferences, whether they like red or white wine. So all of that stuff is possible through the system here. So that's marketing, super flexible. One other element that I do want to cover that is available through integrations with Ruckus at the moment, but we're investigating other partners, other vendors, is the ability to integrate with a smart zone and zone director wireless LAN controllers to be able to create SSIDs for events, right? Bespoke SSIDs for events. And this is work in progress, but you'll get the idea. So what we can do is we could create, and you could give access to the conference team maybe to create these. If they can create an Outlook appointment, some of them must be able to do, not all of them, then you'd be able to create an SSID for a particular event. So if we use the Mercedes example that we had before, we'd type Mercedes in here, we'd choose the start date and the end date for the network. If we wanted to create an account, a voucher code to go along with it, we could do that here. And then we would choose, okay, well, we're going to create a wireless LAN SSID, and then we choose the name of the SSID that we were going to create across here, and we choose if we wanted that to recur. So then very quickly, this communicates back with the wireless LAN controller on site immediately, and it would create in this list for the period of time, right, on the right date, it'll spin up the SSID and then spin it down. And we think that's pretty useful, right? So you're taking that technical complexity away, and you can offer a unique service to some of your customers. So I think there's a lot of Aruba maybe deployed in the minor estate at the moment. I don't think Aruba have got the APIs available to do SSID creation. Ruckus do for sure. But if you've got, if you have vendors that you're working with and that you'd like us to investigate, then feel free to fire that back through me or through Marlon, and we can address that for you. I do think that we are coming kind of to the end. I will just cover off some of the other support elements that would be useful probably. So up in the top right hand side is how we navigate around some of the support elements of the system. The login element is useful if we want to have a look at actually what's been happening on the domain, what's been changed, if anybody's changed something, if you've seen maybe that immediately something's changed on the portal or people can't log in. This is where our support guys would have a look, right? So we go into settings and logging, you can download the logs, you can see who's been doing what, right? Who's created accounts, who's changed any portal settings, and you've got the login credentials and details, so that can be useful. You've also got under the help some different information about the different vendors that we integrate with. So some of this is about configuring devices and wireless LAN controllers. So some of it will be useful, some of it may not be, but that data is increasing all the time. And we also have under the About section, if you click on the release, it'll give you information about what's been updated most recently, right? So on the 23rd, We added a new SMS plugin for Turkey. We've integrated 2 different email validation platforms to improve that service. Right, so you'll always be able to have a look at what's come out and where the new features have been delivered in the platform. One of those is just reminding me actually. PRTG. So PRTG is a monitoring platform that we use, and it will be available for your individual property as a widget on this dashboard. So if I log in here, when you have access, you will have here tick boxes for the WAN bandwidth at locations WAN 1 and 2 if you've got load balancing in place, and you'll also have ping and probably uptime as well for the gateways that are located on site. And that is obviously just useful information from a trending information point of view, and also from support point of view. These graphs update, it says live every 10 minutes, I believe. They're updated and polling information. So you can see the kind of traffic that's being pulled on the DERA at the moment. You know, the last few minutes we've got one line serving 71 megabits a second, another one here serving 13. But just from support you get a snapshot, but we're also keeping this data, you know, for a long time. So we can see from a capacity planning point of view, you know, is your bandwidth consumption going up? I think we all probably know that it is. We don't need graphs to tell us, but when we're asking for more money to buy bandwidth, it's always nice to have a graph that says, you know, customers are using this much data. So you can change how often that information and what it's displayed like, which is useful, really useful. Let me have a look, make sure I haven't covered anything else. It's a good question about email notification. It is possible. It requires some setup, which I don't think we have planned in at the moment. So at the moment, our guys would be monitoring, our network operations team would monitor things. Excuse me. Like the network ping, for example. So if the ping disappears, then our network team will get an email alert. It will go through as a P1 or a P2, and we'll be investigated pretty sharpish on that. I mean, if you guys particularly want access, or I'm guessing you've probably got monitoring on those lines already, either from the ISP or maybe somewhere else. But yeah, we can certainly look at providing visibility or access into that monitoring, because it is useful, right? Probably most of the time we find when things go down, the WAN is a good place to look, because it's often bandwidth. These appliances, the gateways, are very resilient. We don't often have a gateway fail. So I think we're coming towards the end of the plan that I was due to cover. Marlon, is there anything I've missed from the spec that we agreed? If you've got it to hand. But guys, if you have any questions or want to talk through anything or want me to cover anything again, then please feel.
No, I think it was pretty much covered on the entire list, Irvin. So let's just wait for the guys, perhaps, if they do have any additional questions or perhaps topics that they want to discuss.
Sure. And we will make this available. It's unrecorded, so I will pass it through to the corporate team, get them to put it up on your SharePoint platform, and then you'll be able to, you know, look back at any of the sections that we've covered. Okay, well, great. I mean, the thing to remember, in that invitation that I sent through, there is a link to this portal. So I would encourage you to share that portal with definitely with your IT teams. I'd certainly share it with the management team at the hotel, so that they're aware of what's coming. And any feedback, right, can be decided or discussed with Eric and Mike and the team before go live day. The last thing that that we want is to be surprising anybody in the hotels on go live day with something that they haven't seen before, and then having to scramble around and make changes. I know Eric and Mike are keen to you know, give the GHA design a good run and get some valuable feedback. So yeah, I would definitely please share that with the team so that they're all aware of it. They can use it, they can walk through it, so that they're all aware of their login experience before go live day. I think that'll help from an adoption point of view. But any questions you have, guys, then please feel free, fire them through to myself, to Marlon,